The worst day possible for Newcastle United fans is now a reality. Alexander Isak has handed a transfer request in, according to Craig Hope, and he is looking at different football clubs to join. This has to be a nightmare, I swear down. I have spent the last 24 hours. Look, Singapore, we are here at the other side of the planet for Newcastle United's Asia tour. Alexander Isak, it was announced about an hour ago that he would not be a part of the Asia tour. Craig Hope has dropped an exclusive article. Isak wants out of Newcastle United. I don't believe it. The Liverpool links could actually be true. Ekitike and Isak could both potentially go to Liverpool. Newcastle potentially going out of this situation with zero of the two strikers. Now, before we get into anything, Alexander Isak is a Newcastle United legend. Regardless of what you guys think about this transfer situation, he has brought success to this football club. He has won the League Cup with Newcastle, scoring that second goal. That has brought happiness to my family. And, of course, no matter what happens to any of us tomorrow, we are being able to see success in our lifetime. And that is thanks to the likes of Isak. But get out. That's simple. He wants out. Get him out. We don't want any player at this football club that doesn't want to be here. And I'm livid with Isak now. I'm always someone that takes a lot of attention to these interviews. I'm always someone that pays attention to everything that he says. He said Champions League football was a massive thing for him at Newcastle. We have qualified for the Champions League. He has no reason to leave this summer. What he does have a reason to leave this summer, money. I think money's the big thing about this. The contract talks, and we'll get into the contract first because Amanda Murder promised Isak a new contract at Newcastle. They left the football club. Paul Mitchell then did not follow through with that contract, and that, I think, stemmed the full situation. I can't believe Liverpool simply putting their hand in, causing interest a couple of weeks ago. How has that turned his head? I can't believe that one approach from Liverpool has actually been able to turn Isak's head. Mental. It's a complete mess on our point of view, and it's awful from us. To walk away from this situation, no Ekitike, and now a real possibility of losing Alexander Isak. It couldn't have been any worse for us if we tried now. The positive being, we're going to make a lot of money from him. No matter what happens in terms of the player sale, we are getting well over £100 million to the players. So you are guaranteed to have good funds there that will go back in to make Newcastle a better squad. Horrible loss, though, especially ahead of the Champions League. I feel bad for Eddie Howe. He's been done dirty on this full situation, and while we have to blame Isak somewhat for him wanting to move, I'm blaming the public investment fund, to be honest. You have to look at Newcastle's record in this transfer window. One player out of five we have bidded on with actually signed. Isak, of course, we mentioned the contract talk before. The public investment fund with players like Isak, Bruno Tonali, your key hitters at Newcastle, they need to keep these players at the football club. They need to be able to keep a hold of our best players, and why we have been able to do that so far. This is the catalyst now. When one goes out the door, next summer you've got that issue. Could Gordon go next summer? Could Tonali go next summer? You've got to then potentially worry about our players. I can't believe this could actually happen to Liverpool. No way. Newcastle now could sell to Liverpool. Any Liverpool fans watching, you're going to be celebrating. I don't bloody blame you. I'll be celebrating as well as a Liverpool fan. But for us, do not sell to Liverpool. At least let's try and get him out of the Premier League. If we can somehow flog him off to the Saudi League, that would be in our best interest. If he goes to Liverpool, we might as well just not even have the Premier League season this year because they're going to be so guaranteed to win the entire thing. No, I'm good. I'm going to be honest, I'm good. You can tell 15 hours on a plane. I haven't slept in over 24 hours. 7 hours from Newcastle to Dubai. 8 hours from Dubai to Singapore. And this entire Asia tour already has been overshadowed from the Isak stuff and has basically been, could argue, almost ruined from the Isak stuff now. We're still going to have a good time out here. We're still going to have a great time. Newcastle is still our best summer, our most ambitious summer in a long time. Concerning though, we haven't landed the strikers we want to sign, and Isak wants out, and he's not on this tour. Now, this stupid thigh injury behind the scenes. Don't get me started this thigh injury garbage. We knew days ago that this had no validity to it. You look at the pre-season tour now. Lewis Hall, a player who hasn't played in 6 months for Newcastle, is out on this tour. Jolin, who was also injured for the Celtic game, just like Isak, He's out on this tour and Isak's not. And now you get this rubbish a few hours later from Craig Hope saying that Isak wants out. Get him out. That's simple. We don't want players that don't want to be here. We are a progressive club. We want to be a better club. And while, of course, we want to be able to do that with the players that have helped us get to where we are now. If a player wants out, there's the door. See you later. Isak's always a legend. I'm always going to have that respect and I'm always going to have that fondness towards him. I just like this a lot, though. I just like it a lot. At least it's not a Trent situation. At least he hasn't ran his contract down. We're still going to get good money for the guy. So we have got positives coming away from this. But in hindsight, if we could have got Ekitike done 2 weeks ago, we should have got Ekitike done 2 weeks ago. But the reality is, of course, Liverpool snapped just like that, went and got the guy. So did he even want to go to Newcastle in the first place? I think it's a lot of hindsight, a lot of things are going to it. Losing Isak is massive, though. That's a real killer ahead of Champions League football. We needed him for Champions League football. He's taught all this BS in interviews about how he wanted to progress in the Champions League with Newcastle. We have Champions League football this season. There's still not enough form. Money talks. I think money is the big thing in football nowadays, and I don't want to, to villainize Isak, but I think money's the big factor in this. I think this is the reason why he does want out. While, of course, a club like Liverpool is obviously a better club than Newcastle go to. I still feel like money's the big thing in this. I think he hasn't got the money that he wanted at Newcastle. I reckon his agent and the player have now spurred to get this move to try and get teams to come in form. Awful from us. We should have done better with this. I feel like the Public Investment Fund should have done more. Eddie Howe has been let down, I believe, from the Public Investment Fund. This needed to be one Newcastle kept a hold of. Or if it was a situation where Isak wanted out, we needed to get him out earlier. Talking 5-6 weeks before the window ends, we haven't. Who do we even sign? Let's ask the question now. Who do we actually go out there to replace Alexander Isak? Gyökeres is gone. Ekitike is gone. I can't even think of a world class or at least a very good striker that could come in. Wissa's not going to be an Isak replacement. So who do we go out and realistically get now? That's my real concern, my real problem from this full situation, because all the options have been taken up. Disaster. Worst case scenario, the start of the Asia tour. Worst case, the start as well. And I've actually came here wearing an Isak top. I was even speaking to a Liverpool fan in the airport about 24 hours ago. He was confident at the time. I was like, well, yeah, it's not going to happen this summer. Oh, my God. I've actually jinxed everything. I've jinxed it all on this trip. What a nightmare this is. My head is so gone. I've actually had to take a break there to come back just to rant even more. I've spent the last 24 hours coming to Singapore. I've been here less than 3 hours and already Isak's handed a transfer request in. What a nightmare this has been. I've even said a couple of weeks back to Liverpool fans, if Isak signs for Liverpool, I'll personally buy an Isak Liverpool shirt and wear it in the video. That's how confident I was. Isak would not go this summer. And on the player side of things, he's pushed for a move. I can't believe he's done that. And again, when you talk about Liverpool, one simple approach from them. And you know what? I don't want to say we're fair bloody play at Liverpool. That one approach from them, £120 million, Newcastle declined it, weren't interested at all, has stirred us behind the scenes over the past 2 weeks so much. We've lost out on transfer targets. And it seemed to pay off because now Isak wants to go elsewhere. And if they can afford Isak, they've got a ridiculously good chance of getting him now. So Newcastle, again, as we mentioned before, not Liverpool. Let's make sure now we can be arseholes, and let's make sure now we can be a bit bitter, and let's make sure if he does go this summer, which it looks like he will now, not Liverpool, let's at least try and get one back on them. But ultimately, we're knackered on. How the hell are we going to replace him with 6 weeks left to go? The window's already been a mess before you even talk about the possibility of Isak leaving. I can't believe this tour. This tour already is a mess. The players haven't even got here yet. They're flying over now. They haven't even got here yet. And already this pre-season tour is going to be so overshadowed by the Isak stuff behind the scenes. I feel for Newcastle United. I feel for Eddie Howe. I think it's the Public Investment Fund. I really feel like the Public Investment Fund's the one in this situation. I should have done more. You can't blame Eddie Howe. You can't blame the staff members. You can't blame the players at the minute. I think the Public Investment Fund's the one to blame here. And I really feel like they need to pull their finger out. I haven't been impressed with them over the last few years. And especially since Amanda Murd had left. Amanda Murd on social media being heavily blamed, but look at the evidence in the transfer windows. Slow doing everything, slow getting players in. I haven't liked the Public Investment Fund this transfer window, and I do question it a bit. I don't want to come out in this video and put all these accusations and all these different opinions out there, but you've got to look at his evidence now. Isak, that's our boy. Our boy Isak wants to go elsewhere. We haven't offered him a new contract. We haven't sorted this out. Should have been dealt with already. He wants to go out now. Who the hell do we bring in? And I think the Public Investment Fund needs to answer here. I think they really do. I think Eddie Howe hasn't been backed. I love Eddie Howe. He's worked wonders and he works well when he's backed against the wall. His back is so bloody far against the wall now, though. They need to get a grip. And I haven't liked them at all the last couple of years. So we'll see what happens next. It's going to be non-stop in the channel, though, as expected. Out in Asia, obviously, there's more action going on back home at the minute. But yeah, we're out in Asia. Obviously, out for the tour. We're still going to enjoy ourselves with Newcastle. I can't believe the stuff behind the scenes, though. What a mess this is. Take care, guys. Appreciate you watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Nightmare. I cannot believe this day is upon us.